Yeah, it's live. No.
It's live. Okay, fine enough. Then you can make a host to Khushbu.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, and then Khushbu will make co-host everybody who she wants, who she like. ये live हो चुका है. Sharina, you can share the link so they can share the link at different places. Okay, in the chat box over here.
Okay, sir. Okay.
आपको खुशबू चैट बॉक्स में नजर आ रहा है ना? ये लिंक है, ये लाइव लिंक है.
ठीक है, आप मैं स्टार्ट करती हूँ, फिर आप जो है इसको.
Miss Khushbu, can you make me co-host so that I can share the screen for Quran? Yeah, it's okay. I'm co-host now. Thank you.
Sharina, 2:15 it will start.
अबीर की क्यों स्टार्ट
Okay,
नहीं हो
okay.
रही है? No, it's okay. I can start now, but अबीर की वीडियो स्टार्ट नहीं हो रही है.
आपने को-होस्ट बना दिया, अब वो खुद ही स्टार्ट करेंगे. क्या तो गई अबीर.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम, क्या हाल है, कैसी हैं आप? ठीक ठाक हैं?
अल्लाह का शुक्र है भाई.
Let's wait for 2-3 minutes to start करते हैं.
खुशबू उनको मुनीजा को बोलेंगे वो आ गई है क्या? पहले वो स्पीकर तो आ जाए.
Hello.
Yes, Maniza, you're here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
But I don't know. I think when I try to open my camera, it says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. So if you can
We
kindly
will allow it. I think let's start the session because our speakers are almost here.
Yeah, okay, now I can see you. Hello, Asif, how are you?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, क्या हाल है, कैसी हैं आप?
वालेकुम अस्सलाम, बिल्कुल ठीक. How are you doing, Asim? Good to see you.
गुड, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. अच्छा, ये मुनीज़ा चैट बॉक्स में एक आ रही होगी लिंक. वी आर लाइव नाउ ऑलरेडी देयर.
Oh,
You
we're
can share
already
that one.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
great, great,
So
great.
it's on YouTube. You can share anywhere. Huh?
Okay, fine. So, shall we start, or is somebody going to like?
Just give 3-4 minutes. Let's share that one and then we can start. अभी 2:15 पे होना है ना, तो आप मुझे 3 मिनट बाद तकरीबन आप
Okay.
to 10. Khushbu, can you make Yasir co-host, please?
Yeah, Sir is missing. Oh, he's here. Yeah, I think let's start. इसके बाद we have given time to all the attendees and speakers. I think we have good audience by now. Let's start. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, great. Thank you everyone to join our session from the series Get Inspired by Leading Female Professionals. So to begin with, I would like to request Sharina for the recitation of Holy Quran. Sharina, would you please do the honors?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
Jazakallah. So welcome again, everyone. To introduce myself, I am Khushbu Mushtaq, a qualified chartered accountant from ICAP, holding an honorary position as a joint secretary in the UAE chapter of ICAP members. Over the years, I have met some wonderful ladies who inspired me to dream big and to contribute my time and efforts to the profession as well as the community. I am sure you must have heard the name of Ms. Hina Usmani and Ms. Asma Jan Muhammad. Yes, they are from my profession, and that's why they have inspired me a lot. So me, along with few dear friends of mine who are from the same profession, we have joined hands to conduct a series of webinars whereby we will bring on board some high-achieving female leaders from all over the world and from different professional bodies and industries to come on board to be a part of our webinars and share their experiences, their challenges, how they have overcome them, and to inspire and motivate us. Today's session will be a meetup with the prominent Pakistani female chartered accountants. As people say, the women need empowerment, whereby we believe that women is empowered enough, and we're here just to celebrate them. So I would like to invite my dear friend Abir Amar to be the moderator for the session today and invite our speakers. Abir, over to you, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Honorable guests and attendees, my name is Abir Amar. I'm part of ICAP since 2013 and currently working in UAE for the last 10 years. So welcome, Muniza. I'll introduce something about Muniza. She's partner in KPMG and has won various awards for her leadership and business acumen. She has been serving ICAP as a member of CA Women's Committee, Economic Advisory, and Government Relation Committee. Best Corporate Report Committee, and Pakistan Accountants Committee. So Muniza, we have, first of all, welcome to this meetup session. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you all the best for the upcoming elections. Can you please say something? Then we can
Just
start.
before she starts, she's brilliant since a student. She's my colleague. So I know her. So that's why I just want to add, mashallah se jab students se she's outstanding. Please, Monida, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Asif. You know, Asif's judgment, I think, is biased because he's my class fellow. In fact, my batchmate. And we've studied in the same classroom together when we were doing our CA foundation. And he has always been such a dynamic personality, has always inspired us. And he was also the class representative throughout, I think, 3 semesters at ICAP. So Asif, it's really nice to see how well you're doing in life now. And to introduce myself, Abira has done some of the introduction, but I'll take you through my journey very briefly. So I was a science student, and I did not have any idea what CA is about. And I come from a family of doctors, and doing CA was entirely my own prerogative. And, I did not have any family members in this profession to guide me. And whatever I have achieved today, I have done all on my own steam. So I joined KPMG in 1996, and I qualified in 2000. And then later on, I was promoted to different managerial positions. And in 2008, I became a partner. And Alhamdulillah, I'm the first female partner in the big 4 or larger accountancy firms of Pakistan. It's been like a very enriching journey, I would say. And, I feel that when you reach that stage in life, so, it's time to give back to the community. And keeping this in mind, although you can understand and imagine how a partner's life would be. So I started doing my contribution towards the profession and towards my alma mater, ICAP. So I was part of the CA Women's Committee from its inception. And, at first it was just an informal group of few CA women chartered accountants. And later it was recognized by the council as a proper committee. So when we gained that status, we organized the 4th Industrial Revolution seminar, which was a huge success. And then we also launched the Women on Board initiative. We came out with the gender policy and also the entrepreneurship program of CA Women's Committee. I'm also part of the Best Corporate Reports, committee, where we have to judge, or we have to check accounts according to a certain criteria. And then, in the corporate sector, they are awarded merits and, awards for their reporting. Apart from that, something which is very close to my heart and my favorite initiative of ICAP is the mentorship program. I am a mentor for ICAP now. I think it's been quite a few years. And, I feel that this is an area, or this is an initiative which I really, would have loved if when I had qualified, was there with ICAP. And I urge all our young chartered accountants to utilize this initiative of ICAP, because, you have your experienced fraternity members guiding you, advising you. And, if when I was young and at that stage, if I had that guidance, I believe there were a lot of decisions and a lot of, where you have to choose and options, I could have utilized with that help. So I think this is a brilliant initiative of ICAP, where they are mentoring, these young minds and also see affiliates, and they can get in touch with experienced members. And it goes a long way, I believe, because you can build up a network with your mentors, and it always helps in that respect. Apart from this, I am an avid reader. I love reading books. That's my favorite pastime. And then I have also written quite a few articles, I think 8 to be precise, and for the Pakistan Accountant. And they range from various topics, like from blockchain, which is Asif's favorite topic, I believe, to Companies Act and whistleblowing, and about commitment to communities as well. I love to speak, and I have also been a panelist and a speaker on various, platforms and forums. And for these times, I believe, because since the elections are close, I'm not sure whether we can speak about the elections so openly, but I feel, this is a time of unprecedented change, and what is ICAP? We are the ambassadors of ICAP. And if we do not stand, in front, and if we do not take our institute through this challenging, phase, then who else is going to do it? I feel like, when I compare ICAP to the ICAP that was in 1992 when I started, and when I compare it today, the transformation has been immense. But yet there are a lot of things which I feel that our institute needs to like cater to. And, we need to bring it at par with international institutes. And we want our CA students should be recognized on an international level. So I feel that, these are certain steps which people really need to cater to, they really need to address. And it is the responsibility of, I believe, our fraternity who will be voting, and because you will be exercising your right. So you must choose wisely. You must get people on board who are able to deliver. I feel that our CA students in this day and age are extremely technically competent, but sadly they fail on presentation skills, on communication skills. So this is an area where I feel we need to equip our students, where they can flourish and they can be groomed in becoming the dynamic leaders of tomorrow. I also believe that, ICAP needs to partner with, a lot more corporates, so that these students who come for training, the mandatory training. I know, the firms are not so they do not have the capacity to absorb all students, and we cannot leave our, people who have opted to do CA, you cannot just leave them midway. So I think collaborations with corporates is very important, so that these students can be absorbed, and there has to be some strategy to it. There needs to be some rotation, that if they do part of their training in corporates, then they come to the firms, and there's some rotation to that effect, so that they can have an enriching training experience. Apart from that, I think the IT is an area which we really need to focus on and equip our members with those skills. And then, in the times of today, we've seen entrepreneurship and startups. This is something where I believe ICAP really needs to provide opportunities to its members. It needs to garner their support for them in this area, so that they can flourish, because not everybody ends up getting a 9-to-5 job. So people, want to start their own business. In that sense, I believe ICAP really needs to support and provide, whatever, tools that they can to these members who want to start up their own business, want to become entrepreneurs, or even startups. I know that I was just recently told that there's an incubation center of ICAP. I was not aware about it. And we need to take it forward, and we need to take it at a level where our fraternity can, flourish basically. At the same time, I would say that sadly, there seems to be a disconnect between the institute and its members, whether they are local members or they're overseas members. So this gap, needs to be bridged. We need to get our members, more connected with the institute, and more connected with the challenging, environment of, today. And, because together we can work for the success of everybody and for the profession as well as industry at large. So if there are any questions that anybody would like to ask, I would love to answer. Abir, I think you're on mute.
Thank you, Muniza, for sharing your experience. It was really remarkable achievements that you have gone through. Really an inspiration for all young ladies, even including us, will follow you. And so I will just go through the questions that we have for you. The first what do you think about women empowering women, eliminating the race and gender biasness?
Okay, I feel that because in our profession, when I entered KPMG, I think I was the 4th female in this office. So from that time, when I compare to the times of today, the ratio has definitely improved. But still, as I said, a lot more needs to be done. And if women do not support other women, then how can we flourish as a nation? Because as, Qaid Azam said, no nation can prosper unless the women are side by side with the men in building the economy, in building the nation. So it's very important that women step out and they adopt a career. Sadly, what happens is our women, because our biological clock is always in contrast with our corporate clock. So when it is time for us to get married, it's also time that we qualify. And then it is time for us to have to build a family. It is also the time that we have to put in those late hours in work and get that promotion. So I think we need to build a very supportive infrastructure, for the women, so that they can also pursue their careers, because it is in the larger benefit of the economy and of the country. So I think not to empower women is not a choice anymore. You just got to do that. And how we got to do that is what we need to consider. And, we need to have a proper infrastructure in place to support such women.
Truly agreed. So And also if you can share some views on the work-life balance.
Okay, so yeah, like I've been asked this question multiple times, and I tell everybody I feel that I'm a juggler basically. You know how you see in the circus how the clown juggles, and performs that juggling act. So just like, I have, Alhamdulillah, I have two boys, and I feel that they are not the only children. The third child is my own profession, is my own job, what I do basically. So I have to juggle these three things in my life, and because sometimes something is more important, other times the other thing is more important. So for example, like if I have a deadline at work, naturally I have to sit late and complete that deadline and deliver, deliver as per quality and all. But at the same time, sometimes when your child has a competition in school or a contest or something, so that is the time that you also need to make an appearance. So basically, I feel women are very they have a lot of inhibitions about themselves that they cannot manage. It's like you have to shed those inhibitions. You have to manage there. You have to work out some ways about how you're going to have a support system in place, because not working is not an option. If you give women an option that, okay, you don't work, then naturally they will take the easy way out. You just burn all your boats and you say, no, I have to pursue my career, and you have to also, take my family along. So then you will definitely come up with solutions with, because there's no one formula which will work for anybody. You have to garner the support of extended family members. You have to have a proper help in place to, like, help you with family, because that is also an area which you cannot neglect. But when you give somebody an option that, okay, you can quit, so that is the easier way for them, and they feel that, okay, fine, we'll just go for the easier option. So you will find somehow or some solution or some, you will have to work out some solution for yourself so that you can balance your life.
That's great, Muneza. And we have one more question for you. So you said you're the first female Big Four partner in Pakistan. What challenges did you face, and what would you advise the recent qualified female members?
Okay, thank you, Yasir, for your question. I just read that. So for me, I feel my challenges were more self-created, because, I'll let you in on a secret, because when I was being promoted, so there were other male, colleagues who were not offered, partnership, and I was offered over, and I delayed my partnership for, I think, approximately like a year and a half, because I felt that I was not good enough for the job. Although I was doing everything that was expected from me, my seniors, my senior partner, they all saw that potential in me, but I could not see that potential in myself. And I feel that was because I did not have somebody in that role in front of me. I did not have any female partner in front of me performing the job. So I used to feel, oh God, I can never do that. How can I become a partner? So I think rather than other people being a challenge for me or other circumstances, I myself, I think, was the biggest obstacle. But once I believe I shed that, like, and I was able to overcome, that obstacle and shed that inhibition about myself, then there is no looking back for me. So that this is what I would advise to all, young qualified chartered accountant female members, that, they just need to have that motivation and drive in themselves. Because, I can tell you, if you see all the academic results of these universities and schools, women are topping everywhere. They've beaten men, with all due apologies to the men on the call, but, they have really surpassed men in where academics are concerned. What inhibits them is their, their belief that they cannot achieve, as much as their male colleagues or as much as their male counterpart. Well, that is not true. Where work is related or where work is concerned, I believe there is no gender. So when I have a team come in and, perform my, audit procedures on a client and all, I do not see whether it's a male or a female. I need to get the job done, and that's how people operate. So, basically you just need to be very confident, self-confident, and you need to be like very motivated and self-assured. Okay.
Thanks, Muneza. I feel really actually motivated now. Even just, I'm sure other ladies are feeling the same, share the same feeling. So we have just one last question from Mr. Asif Zaman. So why it took so long to contest the election?
Yes, Asif, thank you for that question. And this is also a question since I've started campaigning, for ICAP. So I've got this a lot, and I've even been asked why I didn't contest for the council. So if you see my career graph also, I grew from like a trainee to a managerial position to a partner. I always believe that, you need to start at the grassroots level. So first, when I thought that I need to give back to my community, I first became part of different committees of ICAP to understand how the working is, like, what the environment is, how things are like, dealt with over there, and what it is all about. First, I took that flavor. And then when I thought that, yes, I got passionate about delivering more to my fraternity, that is when I took up the election, I would say, like, as a challenge, and I thought I'd contest. Now, why I contested for the SRC? Because if you see, I'm one of the very senior people contesting for the SRC. It is because I want to, touch from the grassroots level. Because from SRC you go to council. So I want to become, familiar with the working of the SRC, how it goes before I take on a greater job, in giving back to ICAP.
Thank you so much, Muniza, for your time. We really appreciate and we wish that you continue, this meetup sessions that we'll have in future. That's what we are aspiring for, what we are aiming for. We wish you the best of luck for your elections ahead, and we wish you to take a leading role as female chartered accountant in our institution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muniza. Lovely seeing you.
And I'd like to thank Yasir and Asif as well. I think this is a great initiative that you started, because it will bring, this fraternity much closer, especially the female fraternity much closer. So this is a great step and a great initiative. And I wish, all of you best of luck in your personal endeavors as well.
Thank you so much. Lovely seeing you.
So are we supposed to leave now? Am I supposed to leave?
Actually, yes, we have another speaker on board.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, see, I think we are going to have Miss Khurshid on board. Yes, I am making her co-host. Abir, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum, Ms. Khurshid Kotwal. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining all of us in this great initiative of the meetup with the Pakistani Chartered Accountants.
Hi, Ms. Khurshid.
Hi, Khushbu. Hi, Abir. Thank you for having this session, and for that matter, the entire Dubai chapter as well. I feel very happy to connect with you all. I may not have met you or know you all. Maybe Asif, of course, I would know. And Yasir, yes, I've spoken to. So thank you, ladies, for taking this initiative.
Great. So a few words for Ms. Khurshid. She has been serving ICAP as a member of Audit Committee, Digital and Accounting Board, Economic Affairs, Government Relationship, and CFMS Committee. Ms. Khurshid, we would like you to share something about you, your profession, and what's your journey in this institute. So kindly, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Abir. Okay, so I'm Khurshid Kotwal, and I qualified in 1991 from Ferguson's. And after that, I joined Unilever. I worked there for 18 years. I was the corporate finance director and chief auditor before I left Unilever. And after that, I started a consultancy, a management consultancy, which I run. So that is my professional background. And basically, I can share a bit about my vision with you all as well. I hope you all interacted with my chatbot, and got to know me a bit more, and I will discuss my vision as well. Has anybody interacted with the chatbot?
Not really, but of course, after this session, I will be the one to do that. I was quite busy with that.
also. So do share. I mean,
course,
you know,
of
these
course.
are artificial intelligence tools, and they're very simple tools. So there's nothing rocket science about it. And it's just that at your own pace and time, you all can get to know more about me, as well as you all can interact. So it contains all the information about myself. Anyway, I'm also posting on LinkedIn as well. So, you know, those people who are connected with me on LinkedIn as well can see similar posts or information. Now, let me talk about myself at ICAP a bit. And after that, I'll talk about you know, my vision. So in these 30 years, I've been an active member at ICAP, doing work in different capacities, providing thought leadership in various committees, in the PIB committee, in the Economic Affairs Committee, and the Government Relations Committee. But I think my biggest contribution, which I feel for ICAP, has been in the area of digital technology, for which I'm very passionate about. So say in 2017, I was amongst the first ones to have actually brought on table, and I've just posted that old video as well on LinkedIn. We did a conference on the fourth industrial revolution, or basically making the finance and the business community aware of what's happening at the digital arena and what we need to do. Subsequently, I also did a research with some teams, and we wrote a paper on information, communication, and technology. Over and above, I feel happy that I've contributed in the nurturing program. This is basically a program to attract young boys and girls in colleges to the CA profession. So I've done it more, you know, in the non-traditional manner, meaning to say that, you know, I've studied the business models or the models that are used like in the UK and some of the other countries. And then with a local touch, we've tried to make a nurturing program for ICAP. The other area where I feel that I've contributed is on the entrepreneurship program. And this is for the women, and our objective was that those women who wanted to come back to the opportunity but were too late in the industry, these are the kind of people that we wanted to pull through. Now, regarding my vision, I'll just quickly share, and I'll be more happy to take questions than just talk, is that my vision revolves around digitalization and upskilling. So what do I mean by that? Is that you see, what I see CA Pakistan to be a best-in-class designation, okay? Something that is accepted globally and is a launchpad for aspiring leaders. Okay, so what do I mean is, I think in this day and age, we need to reskill ourselves and also upskill ourselves. Artificial intelligence, blockchain, repetitive performance automation, they're all going to change the way we work and the way things happen in the business. So what I believe is that we need to make those changes to our skill set also. So the softer skills is what I also emphasize on. And what I'm saying is we need to build more leadership, leadership in terms of, understanding the business strategy, seeing the business picture, and being able to command and get things done. So what I'm actually talking about is not just a CFO role. What I'm actually saying is that finance should have now the mindset to go into a CEO role or these other C-suites like a CIO or a CSO role. And obviously this doesn't happen naturally, or you can't just overnight switch. Some people, of course, are lucky, or some people go through a trial and error process. But what I believe is that we can help, and we should be upskilling ourselves. And this is the area that I would like to work on and bring in programs and trainings and development and accreditation programs, so that these give our members the opportunity to develop their skill set and reskill themselves. The other very important skill, which I also feel is on basically the communication skills. Because I feel again that this is an area where we need to work on, so that we are able to, and see, communication is not just about a language, it's more about articulating, it's more about convincing people to do what you would like them to do. So I think that is also an art which one has to learn. The other area that I feel very important is the digital, is the analytical skills as well. So of course, the digital skills as well are equally important for the younger people. I would highly recommend them to learn Python and R, etc. And I feel that the analytical skills is something we need to up our game on. We as finance professionals are actually using analytics all the time in our work, in our decision making. Now, what I believe is happening in the world is that this area may not remain our forte in the future if we do not address this. And what do I mean by that? In the world today, now data scientists are being produced. For example, if I look at Unilever in the US or Unilever in the UK, now they are hiring data scientists who are not finance professionals, who are actually mathematics, statistics, and IT skill specialists, knowing Python and R, because they are the ones who can handle the big data. They are the ones who will be, because Excel is going to be outdated in 5 years' time. So those who can handle the big data will be through these sort of languages. And therefore, it's very important that we also reskill our people in these digital as well as the analytical skills as well, meaning to say on the quantum analysis, etc. So I believe we require to do reskilling because there is a revolution on the digital side that's happening. The other area that I would like to work on is on the employability bit. So what I believe is that because of all this digital disruption, the job market dynamics are going to be quite different. And what I would encourage is people to have more of an entrepreneurial mindset. So of course, over and above the training on the entrepreneurship side, I would encourage people to actually go into more startups. And we as ICAP should be able to showcase their skill and talent, so this is what I believe is also very important, as well as encourage, although there is iThrive, I believe that I can take iThrive to the next level because of my digital knowledge, as well as my, because I myself in my personal capacity, I'm also a judge, for example, on these startups, and I interact with incubation centers, etc. So I think that we need to take this iThrive to a next level, So that is an area, and again, like I said, on the employability front, we should be doing a lot of things. The third area that I want to work on is the CA brand, or building the fraternity. So what I mean, internal branding is, better communication and interaction between ourselves. See, I don't know most of you all, and this is the first time I'm interacting with you all. That should not happen, and that happens with a lot of other people. Although I've been there and I know a lot of people, but I feel that that area is still missing. It should be a matter of pride and status to be a CA Pakistan member, and we should be helping each other, whether it is in jobs, whether it is in the business, whether it is in the areas and we should also have an engaging approach in the sense that there should be a two-way communication between ourselves in terms of important and strategic decisions of ICAP. The other area that I believe that I would like to work on is on making CA Pakistan more relevant in the different geographies. See, each geography that I've spoken to has a different set of challenges, a different set of requirements, and we have to make it very meaningful for them to continue their membership and to be able to benefit from this degree or from this profession. So it should help them in achieving their careers and their ambitions. like. So this is what I feel is very important, and each geography has its own dynamics, and I won't go into the details of those, but clearly we need to sit down with each chapter and work out a business plan and see what is important from the perspective of the geography and from ICAP's perspective. The other area I feel is that we need to also have a balance in terms of the way in terms of the council playing more of a strategic role and the management playing more of an executive role. Today I believe there's a lot of scope for that to move forward on, and this is my view that we should be creating the correct oversight that the council really requires to do, and not get too much into the executive role. The other area that I feel very important about is also that ICAP is very uniquely positioned to play an important role with the government in terms of the policy setting, in terms of the dynamics for accounting, auditing, public interest entities, etc., in a lot of areas, So I believe that ICAP can be a good business partner with the government and play a very engaging role. Of course, we do play, it's not that, but I think what I'm talking about is more of a next level of engagement, where I'm talking about it opens doors for our chartered accountants to look at government positions, to work, to get more involved and understand the economic landscape and advise the government. So these are the areas that I would really like to work on. Of course, there are other areas as well, but I believe these are the areas of my forte, and I would definitely like to work in this area. Now I'm happy to take questions from anyone.
Thank you, Ms. Khurshid, for such a comprehensive overview and your journey in this entire time that you have spent. So the first question I would like to ask is, can you share any instance of corporate challenge that you have faced and how you dealt with it?
Okay, so corporate challenges one faces all the time. Okay, let me give you an example of my Unilever corporate experience. Okay, with my clients also one faces a lot of challenges, but I'll talk about Unilever, my home ground. I was head and leading a team of 100 accountants when I was head of the corporate controller. And what I felt was that the initial mindset was, because I was the first woman, they had never interacted. And I had people who were like almost 55 and I was maybe in my 30s, and I was interacting and they were reporting to me. So I think it is that trust that one has to build and to show and to be willing to learn as well and build that bond so that, they accept you as a leader. And I believe that I crossed that challenge a number of times at Unilever as chief auditor, as corporate finance director, and as a woman, I've proved to myself that it is not really your gender that matters, it is the work that matters, and it is how you are able to, share a vision and share a bond with people that will actually help you in getting the work done. So I believe as a woman, I'm sure all of us must have faced. Other than that, I faced numerous challenges. I could go on and on in my career progression as well. But, I think this, I would say this is one of the challenges that I've faced. Okay, so I see a question from Asif. What is your review of empowering the ICAP management CEO instead of council involved? I actually fully agree. I come from a business side, Asif, and from a corporate world. So I believe, and I sit on boards as well. So I believe that council's role is of oversight, is of strategic direction, and let the management do the execution. So I am a believer of that. I have actually used these models because I myself sit on board, and I like to give a lot of space to management to actually deliver life. So of course, as a board member, one has to ensure that there is proper infrastructure. But because I worked in the corporate sector, I'm sitting on boards, I realize how important it is to have this model and take it forward life.
So the next question, Ms. Khurshid, is for you, how women rise?
Women rights.
Women
Okay.
rights. How women rise?
Women rights, you're saying, yeah?
No, I'll put it, I think.
Hello?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, sorry.
So how women rise?
How women rise. Okay. See, I think women face a lot of challenges, okay, because they have to run homes as well. They have to do a lot of multitasking work as well. And if I talk about my own example, your initial runs are hard, because you have to balance. But I would say one thing, that if you are strong-willed, if you are courageous, this is all that is required, and things fall into place. When I was a young mother, I did not even have, there was no childcare or daycare also. Today, Unilever has a daycare, but my kids were quite old when Unilever, we finally convinced them to make a daycare, So I remember that there have been days where I had slept only for 2 or 3 hours and gone back to work because there were some important targets and some important meetings to meet. So we women do face a lot of challenges, but it is up to each one how much you are able to take on that challenge. Like, I did not take any long leaves. I did not give my career any setbacks, because I know that if I was slow in my career, somebody else would jump over my position. So I quickly got back to work even when my kids were small, and I learned to balance my life. So yes, it was a learning process for me as well, but I feel I have done well in that area as well, because my children are now adult children, and they are doing well as well. So I think as a mother, as an employee, as a chartered accountant, as a businesswoman, I think this is all that we do. Yes, we do have difficult moments, but you have to just cross the bridge.
So anybody would like to ask any question? So kindly, yeah, there we go. We have one from Syed Asif Zaman. What's your stand about overseas members representation or seat in councils?
Okay, so let me tell you my perspective. I believe that the boards are efficient when they are smaller, okay, not when they are larger. This is what I have seen. So I believe that the council or the board, as I look at it, I believe should be way smaller. Okay. And this concept of North and South and this division, I mean, look at it this way. We women have never asked for a separate seat. We are also, let's put it this way, downtrodden, not well known in the circle. We don't get too many opportunities as well to interact, etc. But we've decided to fight. Yes, we can lose. I can lose. I have no issues about that. But that's the whole point. You see, in Unilever also, or wherever, if you get a favor, please remember one thing: you do not get respect from people. Always remember that. So, but if you fight on an equal footing and come, the respect that you get is nothing. Otherwise, they'll say, ye to, and they will never take you. People will never take you seriously if you've tried to take a free or an easy ride. I've never done it in Unilever. I mean, to such an extent, I'll give you an example. I went up to the finance director at Unilever and I told him, I want to go and work in the factory. He was a Gora. He said to me, are you crazy? No woman goes there. The union beats up the management. We've never sent any woman over there in whatever capacity. We can't send you. I said, but look, I want to go because it's like running a mini company. And if in my early years, I get this kind of exposure, where will I be in 20 years time? And he rejected me and he said, no, anyway, we don't have a vacancy at this stage. And he refused to listen to me. Every time I would meet him, every time I would meet the others, I would try and convince them that, this is not the inhibition that a woman should be faced with. You should consider me as your equal, not consider my safety is important. Yes, to me also, my safety is important, and we can discuss how things can be made safer for me, but that should not be the thing. And you are a Britisher and you're saying that to me. So anyway, it took me 6 months to convince. Luckily, a job also opened. And because I kept on pushing, because I believed that was very important for my career. And it was a hard ride in the factories, mind you, as well. It wasn't easy. But what it did to my career, only I can understand. So I have taken on challenges like that. Which puts you on a footing equal to everybody. So I never talk about women empowerment and all that, because I believe it should be just inclusive. Everybody should be inclusive in the environment. No separate preferences for anybody, whatever your race, whatever your background is. You fight equally, you get respect. This is what I believe should happen.
Thank you, Ms. Khurshid. Thank you for your time, your views, and to answer most of our questions. We really appreciate and wish you all the luck for the elections ahead.
And we hope to see you in person soon, inshallah.
Yeah, I hope that you all come to Pakistan and also visit ICAP or interact with us even on a personal front as well. I mean, that is including the male members as well. So this is not just for the women. Asif se to phir bhi kahin na kahin interaction ho jati hai, but Yasir I haven't met but I would definitely like to meet all of you all. And like I said, haar jeet hoti hai. It doesn't matter. This is actually, I will still work in the committees. And like I was telling to somebody in Canada, देखो मुझे अब समझ आ गया है कि geography के लिए क्या काम करना है, और हर geography के चाहे मैं आऊं council में या ना आऊं, I will still get things done, because previously I was not exposed to the ICAP chapters overseas. Now I'm exposed. I have spoken to so many people. I know कि UK में क्या मसला है, I know challenges क्या है, I know Saudi में क्या करने की जरूरत है ICAP को, I know Canada में क्या करने की जरूरत है, I know US में क्या होना चाहिए करके. So I think that whether you come in the council or not, of course it will happen कि things will speed up a bit more. But I have always worked in the committees as well and managed to get through. And I believe that this is, see, whatever the majority says, I will respect that. Even if I have a particular viewpoint, I've said that before as well. If my majority of the people feel that nahi, this is how the council should be organized, or this is the way, I will respect the majority view, because what I will feel is that if my people want that and if I am their voice, then this is what I need to do for them. Like, so this is what I believe, that, majority is what can play a power in doing a lot of things, like, So thank you very much.
Thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
looking
Thank
forward
you.
for your support, and please do interact with my bot, and also stay connected with LinkedIn. I cannot invite you all because my LinkedIn invitations are now restricted by LinkedIn, because the number of invites that I have been sending every week. They've stopped me from sending invites for this week. So please, you all send me the invite, and also stay connected with me. Anybody who wants a link of the chatbot, again, I'll be happy. I've added 2 new features in the chatbot yesterday, and these have been pushed in the system to you all. So this is regarding more details about my contribution at ICAP. I've put some old video clips also. So have a look, so you understand that, my vision is not merely a vision of the words. I actually understand the game and how it needs to be run. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll take your leave now. Yeah,
Yes,
and
please.
exit. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
inshallah. Thank you. Okay, Abir, I'm taking Ma'am Amara on board. Ms. Hina will join us in some time. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Walaikum assalam.
Abir.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, Ms. Amara. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We are all good, and looking forward to get your views and your experience throughout. So I will share some details about Ms. Amara, if you guys allow me. So she has been nominated by ICAP as CA Brand Ambassador for 2020 and 2021. She is part of many events where she organized and hosts for conferences, raise sponsorship for national tax conferences, developing industrial skill set, enhancement of the employability, ICAP post budget, and many more. So I would give this opportunity to Ms. Amara to share her views for her journey throughout in this profession and institute. So over to you, Ms. Amara.
Thank you, Abir. And this is a pleasure to connect with all of you. And while talking about myself, I belong to a small town of Gujranwala. And I started my career in professional career in 2005 from KPMG as a trainee student, and stayed there till 2009. And even at that time, I had an opportunity to join Pakistan Credit Rating Agency. And at that time, some of my seniors were telling me, this is not a very, a conventional kind of opportunity that you are going to have it. So better not to do that. So at that time, I decided to diversify myself and take on that challenge, and converted that challenge into an opportunity. So starting with the financial analyst, over a period of around 7 or 8 years, I traveled fast to the rating committee member. So that is actually a apex position there, and the rating committee committee comprises of very senior bankers of 40 years and past presidents of banks, and me myself was traveling from financial analyst as a rating committee member, and I was lucky enough to handle 500 companies across Pakistan, and some of them from the global as well as a rating assignment. And it was a very rich experience, I must say. So not only, I had an insight in the economy of Pakistan, but the world as well, various industries, almost every other industry I used to have an insight. And even at that time, like during that tenure, some of my colleagues were telling me, this is not an accountant's job. So what you are something, diverting yourself. So I had a very strong belief, look, we need to diversify ourselves. And during my 10 years at Pakra, I used to receive a lot of job opportunities. And the teams I used to interact, they offered me jobs of head of internal audit, as CFO, and various positions. But I kept on, striding in that direction. And finally, I was offered as finance business partnering role in Sanifa, which is a joint venture of Sapphire, Nishat, and Fatma Fertilizer. And these three groups have an ambition to revive cotton industry of Pakistan. So that actually that excited me a lot. And the position itself, they asked me that we do not want a conventional accountant at this position. We want somebody who would actually co-steer the strategy side and the business side as well. So in the finance business partnering role, I'm here not only spearheading entire finance function, which includes invariably everything that includes taxation, accounts, bookkeeping, and every aspect of finance, as well as I work closely with my CEO and the sponsors on the strategy side and the business side as well. So this is once again a very, excitement for me. And this is a kind of, a business leader kind of, an opportunity. And I must tell you that during my tenure at Pakra, it was a very, an easy ride for me as compared to other, we used to have our colleagues from, foreign universities, from MBAs from LUMS, and, that kind of competition I used to have. And it was relatively very easy for me because we're auditing, or, I was coming from KPMG and the internal audit and external audit background. So I used to say that where audit ends, analysis starts. And to my excitement, and some of the assignments I was able to handle, like even the audited financial statements, when I used to head, I was able to identify, okay, where those gaps might be. And because of that, my rich experience and my background, I was able to, handle everything, whether it be numbers related, whether it be governance related, internal controls related, systems and controls, and even management related issues of my assignments. So my accountancy profession actually enriched me to, handle every kind of aspect that any business can have. So, striving on that, and capitalizing on my experience over the years, I have actually, had an insights on variably, every organization almost, whether it be a multinational or whether it be any kind of business. So, and 5 years back, I started to take active participation at ICAP because I realized that my standing today is because of this profession. So 5 years back, I was actively participating, and just Abir mentioned some of my key achievements, like for example, CPAC organization. I was actively involved in that, and almost more than 50% sponsorship I was able to raise alone. So that was something, okay, if we strive in that direction, that we can achieve everything. And even at that time, in a committee of, almost 15 professionals and like that, I was the only female in that committee. And similarly, like technology committee, I was only female in that committee. But it was never be a handicap for me to participate and do such kind of initiatives. So I believe that every challenge comes with an opportunity. So this is upon us how we are able to convert that challenge into an opportunity. There is nothing as weakness in that. If you take that weakness as your strength and convert that weakness into your strength, so I think that really takes you high on the sky. And I really believe that we, the accountants, are basically are enriched with everything. So we are technically very strong. So, but why we are not at business leadership positions? We are at leadership positions in the finance roles, but I believe our sky is much beyond that. So, in and particularly in the era of globalization, where any region is no more relevant. So when we are operating globally, that is something we that will take us actually higher and higher. And particularly in this era of technology and globalization, so this is an intense requirement that we should start working in that direction. So that was basically my premise, and that was basically my idea to achieve that vision in the long run, that I see CA community or chartered accountants and this profession as business leaders. But we have to start from somewhere. And particularly when I say, okay, I'm going to contribute to ICAP, having spent a lot of participation and contribution in the last 5 years at various committees. So I thought this is the right time to, join at the leadership. And definitely taking one step to the next is more sustainable and stable. So this is why I decided to come at NRC. And I'm very excited, and it gives me a lot of pleasure when I say that I am actually the first female contesting for Northern and Regional. So no women was there in the history of ICAP. So if I get elected, so I will be very honored to take that. And definitely I would like many more to come. And I really see a more diverse and inclusive culture in our profession, whether be at a leadership position or the work environment and everywhere. So, well, talking about, okay, in the short term, what I want to do and what are my ambitions that I want to achieve. So I really want to work on the professional development side. And when I saw that this is particularly a mandate of NRC or regional committees, so that was my real excitement. So I said, okay, so this is the right forum for me to start with. So the professional development, and I really see and I really want to change the way we conduct our professional development, the way we conduct our networking events, since networking is our strength. So I would really want to change our trainings, our seminars in a more interactive way. So definitely we cannot completely undo the seminar where a speaker is speaking and we have an audience of 400 and 500. We will definitely continue doing that, but we need to introduce more training programs. Like in my entire career, we used to have very intense kind of trainings where without having listening to a 1 hour speech, we were able to learn a lot of management techniques and a lot of technical techniques as well. So I really want to introduce at ICAP forum or NRC forum, because I believe this platform is actually the bigger one. We need to use it at a very advanced level. Its potential is very huge, and we really need to capitalize on it. So I'm looking forward to very interactive kind of techniques for our trainings and for our learning techniques. And particularly talking about that, I really foresee more kind of interactive forum, a dynamic e-learning forum where we can actually take benefit from our experts, that we should be having subject matter experts We have very, rich, um, um, uh, we have very, experts in every industry from our profession. So why not to connect with the rest of the, young members? So that is another idea. And particularly for the students, we have, CASA platform. I really foresee that we really have to, engage our students. And this is kind of, I really want to build a connection with every segment of our profession. Like when I say, it's a consultant, it's, industry, when we say it's, students, when we say, okay, some members are in Pakistan, somebody is sitting in UAE, somebody is sitting in Canada. So I really see that globalization, and the focal point is, CA community. So we need to bring a connection so that we can actually benefit from each other, from each other's strengths, and we need to convert every, a kind of, a challenge into an opportunity. So this is my vision, and I really look forward that I will be able to contribute much beyond that, what I have been doing in the past, and taking benefit from what I have seen so much from out of my experience, and by my, recent association with ICAP.
Thank you, Amara. Thank you so much for sharing your views. Now we would like to start some questions session, if you allow us. So the first
Yes.
question is, how do young chartered accountants achieve leadership role in their career, and what are the tips to maintain it?
Okay. So I believe when you talk about leadership, so leadership is something that whatever task you have been entrusted, take a lead in executing that. So it doesn't matter that you have a manager and that manager is responsible for that task. You have to demonstrate that you are leading that assignment in your initial years of your career. When you do that, then your management will have trust on you that you can take that task responsibly, and it will take you to elevate very fastly high up to the ladder. And this is what I have been doing even in the trainee, in my trainee life. I was actually taking lead of everything I do. And even just after 2 years, I was, or 1.5 years, I was the first one so young given an opportunity to lead as a job in charge and assignment. So I strongly believe that you need to lead. And when you lead an assignment, a job, or the people, one thing that is must for you is your presentation skills and your communication skills and your ability to convince others and emotional intelligence. So these are some of the soft skills that take you higher to the ladder. So first time is the right time. You need to take the lead from the day one. You need to demonstrate, you need to communicate, and you need to demonstrate that, okay, in the medium or the long term, you will have that skill, or you already have that skill to lead from the front. So that will be my advice to young members.
What are the key lessons that you learned from your mistakes that other female chartered accountants can avoid and learn from?
Okay, so in initial years, I used to consider, or keep this challenge in my mind. Okay, I'm a female, and everyone else is talking about me. And if I'm doing any task, and the comment coming from the other person is because I'm female, so that's why he's saying this to me. So that was a big mistake, I must say. So you need to come out of this mindset. You are a female. That's why you are being pointed out. So we should not do that. We need to be, since this confidence, you are going to give this confidence to other, that irrespective you are male or female, you have to deliver and you have to do that task. Or the comments that are coming, so you take it neutral. Even if somebody is saying, you are a female and you won't be able to do that. So you have to make them correct and you have to convince them कि look, आपको इस mindset से बाहर आना होगा. And if I'm a manager or leading this assignment, so चाहे मैं male हूँ या female हूँ, मुझे वैसे ही करना है जैसे एक professional को करना चाहिए. So I am a professional. So this is something that I would advise everyone, every female basically. And it actually helped me a lot. It actually helped me a lot to travel fast to the leadership position.
That's great. Thank you so much, Ms. Amara, and all the very best for your futures and endeavors for this upcoming elections. We wish you that you take one of the leading position there and you give your best.
Thank you so very
Amara.
much. Thank you. So I may leave now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so I'm going to take Miss Hima. Our next speaker is Miss Hina.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
क्या हाल है जी सबके? ठीक ठाक हैं?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
जी, I'm fine. Quite tiring exercise these days. Work and
So
Tell me.
I'll start for Miss Hina Usmani. She needs no introduction, and she has over a decade of working experience in financial sector in leadership roles. She is the first elected woman council member 2017 until 21. She is the first elected woman vice president from 2019 until 2020. She has represented ICAP on various platforms and given the institution countless voluntary services and achievements. Thank you, Ms. Hina, for joining all of us. It's a great pleasure to have you here in this meetup sessions. And I would like to give you the opportunity to speak about your career, what's your journey during your time in the services for the institution. So over to you.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum everyone, and thank you very much Asif Saab, Khushbu, everyone who is in this team for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to speak at this forum. I think this is a very unique opportunity to speak at a time when we are contesting for elections. I am a candidate for Council South Zone 8. I'm already a council member, as you all know, and I am my inspiration. As you already know that a lot of me about my background and my experiences, so I will not talk much about this. I would talk about what I have done and tried to achieve during the period of the trust which the members have imposed on me by electing me as the first women council member with the second highest votes. That was the encouragement and inspiration for me to come forward and offer myself for the second tenure as well. I have, during the current term, I tried to work as hard as possible to meet the expectations of the members and for their benefits and for their betterment of the institute and the profession at large. Almost all departments, all areas I have worked, and especially I got the opportunity to lead three main areas, which includes the examination committee when I was the vice president of the institute. Assalamu alaikum, Asif Saab, kaise hain aap, theek hai?
Walaikum Assalam. Good to see you. Good to see
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you so very much.
Jazakallah. We are hoping to see you next again
Thank you.
in the
Thank you
council.
so very much with your kind support, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So I was sharing what I've got the opportunity to lead certain committees. Usme ek examination committee, then of course the CA Women Committee, being the first woman, mujhe ye opportunity di gayi because you know when the council was started, the Women Committee was already formed. And it was led by our respectable member, Mr. Farooq Rahman. And once the council में मैं आई तो फिर council ने जिम्मेदारी मुझे दी और alhamdulillah we took the initiative, we took the challenge, and there was very big challenge of the lowest participation of women in the profession जो हमें हमारे सामने था और still हम उसको face कर रहे हैं, but we have laid lot of groundwork, we have done lot of hard work to bring women to the profession. उनके जो wrong perceptions थे उसको दूर करने में हमने काफी काम किया. We have worked a lot for the CA brand promotion, जिसमें हम प्रेसिडेंट पाकिस्तान को 40 साल के बाद ICAP के किसी इवेंट में लेकर आए. दैट वाज अ बिग अचीवमेंट जिसने हम बड़ी स्मॉल स्केल पे, हम छोटा सा एक मेंबरशिप हमारा बेस है, बट हमारा जो आउटरीच थी वो बहुत एक्सटेंसिवली अक्रॉस पाकिस्तान बहुत प्रमोट हुई. Plus, we have done a lot of work for counseling of youth, unko in order to bring them to CA profession. Along with them, हमने जो main women के लिए काम किया, आप लोगों को तो सबको पता है कि जो हमारी career break पे हैं or women who are not part of the workforce, we wanted to bring them to the workforce. So that was the initiative कि हमने काफी training programs run किए और still हमारे entrepreneurship program and जो directors program हैं, training programs हैं, वो भी हमारे specifically उनके लिए run हो रहे हैं. Along with that, we have published an inspiring journey. वो एक डॉक्यूमेंट करती है कंप्लीट उन एस्पेक्ट्स को जो वुमेन का एक जर्नी है सिंस इंसेप्शन ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट. सो वो एक बहुत बड़ी, समझ लीजिए, एक जिम्मेदारी थी जो हमने पूरी करी और हमारे लोगों को अवेयरनेस ऐसी चीज़ों की भी उस एक्सरसाइज से स्टार्ट हुई जो कभी नहीं पता था, वो चीज़ें लोगों के सामने आई. सो दैट वाज अ रियल बिग डॉक्यूमेंट व्हिच we were successfully able to deliver. Along with that, I was able to lead the council ने मुझे जिम्मेदारी दी to lead the internal audit practice development committee. That was the area which was untapped for quite some time, and there is a lot of room and a lot of work needs to be done. इसमें हमने अभी तक हमने 3-4 initiatives conceive किए हैं, जिसमें included है certification programs, regular interaction with the members through webinars, publication of quarterly bulletin, and publication of local guidance material. These are the things which are very, very important. Along with that, we are also getting in touch with the legislators to enforce certain regulations जो कि हमें internal audit practices को और जो हमारे members internal audit में हैं उनको help करेंगे. So these are the things which we have taken along, or with the due support of council, I was able to deliver all these initiatives. तो ये तो मेरी सारी वो आपसे मैंने शेयर किया जो के काम मौका मिला और जिसको किया. एग्जामिनेशन में आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर एक इम्पॉर्टेंट आस्पेक्ट कि जब आई वाज लीडिंग द एग्जामिनेशन कमेटी, दैट वाज द टफेस्ट एरिया बिकॉज कोविड वाज सरफेस्ड एट दैट टाइम. And we had to face a lot of challenges of conducting examinations. We tried our level best to save students time by taking permissions from different provinces. हमारे 4 provinces plus 1 capital से हमें permission लेने की requirement थी, but unfortunately we were unable to take 2 permissions. 3 हमारे पास आ गई थी, but 2 हमें नहीं allow की गई, जिसकी वजह से we had to take a very tough decision of cancellation of examination. But at the same time, immediately we conceived the idea of online examination. We progressed, we tested, and then got the approval and executed within 3 months. और हमने 3 महीने के अंदर अंदर ऑनलाइन एग्जामिनेशन करवाए, और अल्लाह का शुक्र है हमारा सबसे सक्सेसफुल एग्जामिनेशन रहा amongst other accountancy bodies को अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो हमारे ऑनलाइन एग्जामिनेशन was a great success and still is a success. अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि उसमें कोई hiccups नहीं आए. So these were all things which under my leadership I was able to deliver with the support of the department, committees, and of course with the council support. Council has recorded appreciation for my efforts during my tenure as head of examination. And of course, as a vice president, there were a lot of different initiatives. I was part of it and tried to deliver to my best abilities. Now, inspiration, जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा, inspiration like when I came, पहले तो एक तो this is my passion. I wanted to pay back. अब जब passion आपके पास है, then I got a lot of encouragement through my last election, और मुझे जिस तरह support मिली, जिस तरह आप लोगों ने support किया, that gives me a lot of encouragement and a lot of motivation to come forward and contest again for the second term. So this is my inspiration, and I want to really leave an impact for our future generation, कि उनको याद रहे, हमारा काम याद रहे, हमारा नाम याद रहे, कि हमने कुछ अच्छा करके गए उनके लिए. How I will do it and what additional should I contribute? Additionally, देखें अभी आपको पता है there are a lot of issues. अगर हम especially कुछ areas हैं जिस पे हमें काम करने की ज़रूरत होती है, जो कि एक regular feature है हमारे प्रोसेस का. फॉर एग्जांपल स्टूडेंट्स हैं, स्टूडेंट्स में अगर हम देख लें तो इनटेक का इशू होता है. एक इनटेक है, उनको क्वालिटी मेंटेन किस तरह करनी है, उनकी किस तरह हमें आउटरीच इनहेंस करनी है, हाउ टू काउंसल देम, देन वी नीड टू ट्रेन देम. फिर उनका एक ट्रेनिंग ऑप्शन होता है कि उनको ट्रेनिंग के एस्पेक्ट्स देने. इसमें जो चैलेंजेस हैं वो इस वक्त ये हैं कि हमारी आउटरीच जो है वो वी नीड टू इनहेंस, और वो हम कुछ चीज़ें मेरे जहन में भी हैं और कुछ हम इस वक्त काम भी कर रहे हैं कि हमें कुछ कोलैबोरेटिव अरेंजमेंट्स करने की ज़रूरत है जिसके थ्रू हम अपनी आउटरीच को इन्हांस कर सकते हैं. एंड नॉट इन लोकली, इंटरनेशनली भी हमें ज़रूरत है उसकी, बिकॉज हम खाली अब वी आर ए ग्लोबल इंस्टीट्यूशन, हमें अपने ब्रांड को इन्हांस करना है, हमारे ब्रांड को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है, उसकी ग्लोबल रिकग्निशन के ऊपर हमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा काम करने की ज़रूरत है. जितना हम ज़्यादा अच्छा काम करेंगे हमारी उतना ही हमारे मेंबर्स को, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को उसका फ़ायदा होगा. So as we progress, we need to take more intake, more good intake. Then we need to give them a lot of counseling and guidance throughout their study and examination process. उनको जितना facilitate कर सकते हैं. Like for example, अभी recently I've been part of the examination committee throughout last 4 years, and I found that there are certain communication channels which we should establish in order to build up the confidence of the child, of the students, and it will improve, I'm sure it will improve the achievement of qualification on timely basis. Like for example, जो teachers हैं, जो हमारे education tutors हमारे available हैं, वो उनके जो teachers हैं उनका communication examination के साथ उसको improve करने की ज़रूरत है. अभी हमने initially उसको one-way communication start किया है. Now it will slowly, gradually, we will build it up to a two-way communication. Once it is a two-way communication, it will definitely help in bridging the gap between the student and between the examination perspective. से वो idea होगा कि उसको अगर कोई एक उसको बात समझ में नहीं आ रही है तो वो टीचर्स के थ्रू उनको कन्वे किया जाएगा कि हाउ दे शुड बी काउंसल एंड हाउ शुड दे शुड बी टॉट अबाउट थिंग्स, कि उनका एग्जामिनेशन किस एस्पेक्ट से लिया जाता है. So these are the things which we need to work on. उसके लिए effectiveness, we need to bring lot of effectiveness in that process. तो ये एक कम्युनिकेशन का जो चैनल है इसके ऊपर हम काम कर सकते हैं फर्दर. Along with that, आपने देखा होगा कि आपको काफी, मेरा ख्याल में जब आप once you are qualified, you find that there's a lot of आपको members या अपने नजर आते होंगे फ्रेश जो कम्युनिकेशन में थोड़ा शाय होते हैं. कम्युनिकेशन एंड प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स में थोड़ा सा एरिया ऐसा होता है जहाँ पे उनको फर्दर रिफाइनमेंट की जरूरत है. हमारे कुछ हैं बेसिक, हमारी एजुकेशन स्कीम में भी इस वक्त भी जो न्यू एजुकेशन स्कीम आई है उसमें भी इसको फर्दर एनहांस किया गया है. बट आई फील दैट दिस इज अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस. दिस इज नॉट समथिंग यू टेक लेक्चर एंड सर्टेन आवर्स आप कंप्लीट करें एंड देन यू विल बी एबल टू डिलीवर. आपकी ये कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस, एक लर्निंग प्रोसेस है कंटिन्यूअस. तो जो in my mind, that my thought process says that it has to be inculcated in during the training period as well. We need to incorporate certain courses, certain guidance and certain training regulations में हम कुछ इस तरह से incorporate करें कि वो बच्चे regular इस communication and presentation skills पे और जो specially technological skills हैं उसके ऊपर अपने आप को upgrade करते रहें. Step by step they move forward, and once they qualify, they are able to speak, they are able to communicate well as per expectations. क्योंकि देखें जब एक qualified chartered accountant होता है तो उसकी expectations भी increase हो जाती हैं. लोगों की expectations high होती हैं आपके बारे में. तो you need to deliver as per their expectations. Now when we talk about members, of course हमारे members in Pakistan and outside Pakistan, जैसे इस वक्त मैं आप लोगों के साथ मुखातिब हूँ. I'm sure that most of you are based in UAE. तो आप लोगों के जो प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं उसमें सेटलमेंट इश्यूज आते हैं, रिकग्निशन के इश्यूज हैं, कोलैबोरेटिव अरेंजमेंट्स के इश्यूज हैं, प्लस एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के इश्यूज हैं. Along with that, you need to be regularly updated on through certification courses or something in a way that your capacity is developed and आप अपने आप को up to date रखें with the current challenging trends. So we need to do a lot of engagement, enhancing our engagement. For example, मैं आपको example दूँ that there are certain countries जिसमें हमारे members की presence कम है, but there are issues like for example वहाँ पे अगर कोई immigration issue नहीं है, वहाँ पे आपका लैंग्वेज इशू नहीं है या आपके रिकग्निशन इशू नहीं है, तो हमें थोड़ी मार्केटिंग पुश करनी होगी और वहाँ पे हम इन्हांस कर सकते हैं. जैसे इजिप्ट में मेरी बात हो रही थी, आयरलैंड में बात हो रही थी. देयर आर सर्टेन कंट्रीज जहाँ पे हम इसको इस तरह से भी इन्हांस कर सकते हैं. प्लस कुछ अरेंजमेंट्स हैं जैसे हमारे यूएई में या हमारे कनाडा में भी कुछ अरेंजमेंट्स इस तरह के हैं कि उनको हम जो एग्जिस्टिंग अरेंजमेंट्स हैं उनको हम रिविजिट करके we need to see what improvement we can bring along with the lines of current challenges, because post COVID there are a lot of things have been changed. The entire the way of working is changed now. We need to align it along with that, or see how our members could be facilitated through these changes. और हमें अपने members को किस तरह we need to make them in a manner that they do not have any employability issues or any practice issues in their local jurisdictions due to just because of the fact that there are no recognitions in place. So इन सारी चीज़ों पे हमें काम करने की ज़रूरत है. Along with that आपने बात देखा होगा जैसे काफ़ी गवर्नेंस के ऊपर you must be hearing lot of things and views हमारे ऑनरेबल मेंबर्स के. ऑफ कोर्स वी एग्री दैट उसमें थोड़ा सा रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग अभी आपको मैं अपडेट करूं कि हमने अभी गवर्नेंस मैनुअल पे काफ़ी काम हुआ है एंड दिस एज अ कंप्लीट टास्क फोर्स वाज मेड एंड विद लॉट ऑफ hard work they have done and developed a governance manual, and it's in the approval stage and we will soon implement that. और जो बाकी चीज़ें हैं वो तो हमारे लॉ में डिफाइन है, तो हम लॉ के हिसाब से चलते हैं. हाँ, what we can bring more efficiency of reporting lines, of monitoring. what is missing in the committee structure? I feel that committees, of course, committees are is the strength of the profession कि हम committees के through जितना हमारे members हमारे साथ involve होते हैं और वो ICAP के initiatives में अपना input देते हैं, that is essential. उसको हमें एक foundation देने की जरूरत है. Like for example, few committees have a structured foundation in between, but there are few committees who do not have any back-end support from the ICAP secretariat. तो उसको फिर वो here and there कहीं ना इधर उधर से लेके और कहीं ना कहीं उसको अपना जो अपने deliverables हैं उसको deliver करने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो थोड़ा सा उसकी structuring plus reporting. इस वक्त जो हमारी रिपोर्टिंग होती है कमेटीज की वो एनुअल बेसिस पे एक रिपोर्ट जाती है. What we need, there is a need that we need to set our action plans. Each committee chair should set the action plans according to the TORs which have been made by for the committees. फिर उन action plans की quarterly monitoring होनी चाहिए. हम अपने केस में मैं आपको बताऊं, we always used to give that. एज ए वॉलंटियर हम एक प्रोसेस नहीं है बट हम हमेशा रेगुलरली अपडेट करते रहे अपने आप को. सो अगर हम यही मैकेनिज्म सब कमेटीज के लिए एस्टेब्लिश कर देंगे तो वो दैट विल आल्सो हेल्प एंड आई एम सजेस्टिंग दैट आल्सो in due course कि इस तरह से हम we will bring more efficiency and more accountability to the fact कि okay fine अगर कमेटी को कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है तो वो चीज़ फौरन आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएगी rather than we wait till the year end to see what problems the committee is facing while executing their initiatives. तो ये सारी चीजें हैं कि हमें थोड़ा सा बैक एंड पे भी मॉनिटरिंग मैकेनिज्म को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने की जरूरत है. एफिशिएंसी एंड इफेक्टिवनेस प्लस ऑटोमेशन. ऑफ कोर्स जो मेंबर्स की एंगेजमेंट है, ज़्यादातर मेंबर्स की अक्सर हमारे पास कंप्लेंट्स आती हैं कि वो कनेक्टिविटी इश्यूज आते हैं, उनकी engagement नहीं हो पाती. तो we had done agreement with service provider जो कि in pipeline है और I'm sure it will be done in due course. But over and above हमें उसको एक कुछ फर्दर ऑटोमेशन की भी जरूरत है कि हम कोई ऐप की सूरत में अगर से फॉर एग्जांपल आपको फी पे करनी है, अभी आपकी ऐप है एप्लीकेबल बट उसको फर्दर हमें एनहांस करने की जरूरत है कि आपकी जो भी कम्युनिकेशन है कम से कम ह्यूमन इंटरेक्शन के साथ यू कैन कम्युनिकेट विद इंस्टीट्यूट सो दैट योर थिंग्स आर गेट डन विदाउट एनी डिफिकल्टी एंड इनकन्वीनियंस. So that's all from my side and I'm looking forward to your support and I really appreciate the participation of all of you and giving me the opportunity to speak with you and share my mindset and what my vision, my thoughts are about the Institute for Future, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hina. And first, the disclaimer. The disclaimer is that whatever question I'm asking is on a personal basis. क्योंकि ये एक question है as an participant. And you have आपने एक foundation lay down कर दी है, जिसकी वजह से आपने देखा कि अब और लोग भी माशाल्लाह से आ रहे हैं और जो आपने एक ट्रेंड सेट किया है और वो ट्रेंड इंशाल्लाह ताला आगे चलेगा. जो आपने जो लेडीज जो अब आ रही हैं और जो पार्टिसिपेट कर रही हैं, आपने देखा पहले आप अकेली थी, अब माशाल्लाह से काफी सारी हैं.
मुझे ये लगता है कि ये बड़ा सक्सेस है, समझे, अल्लाह का शुक्र है.
दैट इज द ये आपकी जो सबसे बड़ी अचीवमेंट ये है कि देखें एक जो है आप स्टीरियो जो था, एक टैबू था, उसको हमने ब्रेक किया और आप आई.
बिल्कुल.
एंड कमिंग टू, क्योंकि हम एक ओवरसीज में रहते हैं तो हमारी कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. हम ये चाहते हैं कि थोड़ा आपका इस पे फीडबैक हमारा लिया जाए. हमारी पहली प्रॉब्लम ये है कि अब तो माशाल्लाह से ऑफिस यहाँ दुबई खुल गया है और इसके ऑपरेशन भी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे. सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हमारा ये है कि जो हम फेस कर रहे हैं, ये देखते हैं कि वी नीड रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन काउंसिल. आप जैसे लोग हैं जो रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, लेकिन यू हैव एन एजेंडा विच आर, आपके पास वहाँ के बहुत सारे एजेंडाज होते हैं जिन पे आपको काम करना होता है. जाहिर बात है, जैसे आप एजुकेशन में तो आपको एजुकेशन का काम करना है, तो हमारा जो एजेंडा है वो पीछे रह जाता है ओवरसीज का. मैं उसकी सबसे बड़ी मिसाल ये बताता हूँ कि पिछले 9 साल से दुबई ऑफिस खुलना था, जो 9 साल बाद खुला, और मैं इस बात का गवाह हूँ कि काउंसिल के अंदर ये जाता था, अगले मीटिंग में ये बोले यार एजेंडा पॉइंट में है लेकिन ये डिस्कस का टाइम नहीं मिला, अगले पॉइंट में चला गया, अगले पॉइंट में चला गया। तो ये फुटबॉल होते 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 8 साल तो मैंने देखे कि ये होते होते ये पहुंचा। तो आपका क्या व्यू है कि क्या ओवरसीज के लिए, जिस तरीके से हम ये समझते हैं कि भाई ओवरसीज की रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, जो ओवरसीज तकरीबन 3000 जो है ओवरसीज आपके मेंबर हैं, 30% ऑफ योर टोटल टुडे इज दैट वन, एंड देयर वाइज अभी हम चैप्टर्स खुले में, लेकिन चैप्टर्स डजंट हैव एनी लीगल बाइंडिंग आईकैप के साथ, ठीक है, अनलेस स्पेसिफिकली कोई आपने रिटर्न दिया है कि भाई ये एक्ट है। हम इंडिपेंडेंट एक्ट करते हैं रिगार्डलेस ऑफ बीइंग अ चैप्टर ऑफ आईकैप, under the umbrella of ICAP directly or indirectly. So our one thing is that if we have a presentation as in council, or you can give some कि आप जो 10 में अगर जितने भी ओवरसीज के उनमें आप नॉमिनेट कर दें, इलेक्शन कर दें, कोई इंटरनल 2 आदमी को रिप्रेजेंट करें काउंसिल के अंदर, तो हमारे जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं वो सॉल्व होने में आसानी होगी। तो मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है, क्योंकि आप 4 साल गुजार चुकी हैं, मैंने किसी दूसरे से नहीं, आपसे, क्योंकि आपको आइडिया हो चुका है कि काउंसिल कैसे ऑपरेट कर रही है, काउंसिल की क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, क्या टाइम का स्ट्रेन है, सब सारी चीजें। तो मैं आपका इसके बारे में रिमार्क्स चाहूंगा प्लीज। सॉरी हमारा आपको मैंने अभी आपको मैंने बाईपास करके क्वेश्चन भेजा, सॉरी।
That's all. That's good. No problem. Asif.
नहीं, कोई मसला नहीं। आसिफ साहब, थैंक यू वेरी मच। देखें, आप भी मेरे ख्याल में काफ़ी हद तक इंगेज हैं और आप भी चीज़ों को समझते हैं। मैं जो समझती हूँ इससे, जो आपका पहला सवाल है कि जिसमें हम किस तरह से इतने जो टाइम लैग है उसको किस तरह कम कर सकते हैं, तो आई थिंक अगर हम किसी भी छोटी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की भी एग्जांपल ले लें, जो हमारे रिपोर्टिंग एंड मॉनिटरिंग मैकेनिज्म है, मेरा ख्याल है हमें इसमें ऑफिशिएंसी लाने की ज़रूरत है। अगर हमने अपने चैप्टर्स भी हैं, आप लोग वहाँ पे अब एक एज एन ऑफिस हमारे ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, रिपोर्टिंग मैकेनिज्म होना चाहिए, कम्युनिकेशन चैनल डेवलप होना चाहिए, 2 वे कम्युनिकेशन चैनल। ये नहीं कि आप ही हमको कहे जा रहे हैं यहाँ से कोई जवाब नहीं आ रहा, तो इट्स अ 2 वे कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए। आपको भी पता होना चाहिए आप जो बात कर रहे हैं उसका जवाब आपके पास आना चाहिए। तो हमें एक तो इफेक्टिवनेस उसमें लाने की जरूरत है। जैसे मैंने पहले भी अभी बताया कि कमेटीज के लिए जहां तक हम जिस तरह उसको हमें इफेक्टिव करने की जरूरत है, हमें इसी तरह यहाँ पे भी इफेक्टिव करने की। हमारी कम्युनिकेशन बहुत वीक हो जाती है समटाइम्स। एक इशू आता है अगर, तो ठीक है, अगर हम उस इशू पे लेके चलते हैं तो फिर ठीक है, अगर आपने बात कर ली तो वो इशू जो है वो हाईलाइट हो जाता है और उसके ऊपर फिर सब अपना व्यू भी दे देते हैं। बट एक सिस्टमाइज्ड वे से चीज़ों को चलने से काफ़ी फ़र्क पड़ता है। हमें सिस्टमाइज्ड वे में अपने लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम खाली आपके चैप्टर की बात कर लेते हैं, चैप्टर की कोई रिपोर्टिंग मैकेनिज्म नहीं है काउंसिल के पास। आप कोई क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट भेजते हैं कि आपने इस क्वार्टर में क्या आपके एक्शन पॉइंट से व्हाट हैव यू डन, और क्या आपने किसकी वजह से वो एक्शन पॉइंट कंप्लीट नहीं हो सका। मैं एक बहुत सिंपल से बात कर रही हूँ, मतलब इट्स नॉट आई एम नॉट मैं किसी को पॉइंट आउट नहीं कर रही, सिंपल ये कह रही हूँ कि हम थोड़ा सा इसमें अगर इफेक्टिवनेस चलें, अगर हम स्टार्ट विद क्वार्टरली नहीं करते हैं तो ले आप बाय एनुअल से शुरू कर लीजिए, और एटलीस्ट कुछ टारगेट्स तो रखें ना कि हमने करना क्या है और फिर हम क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, और फिर अगर नहीं कर पा रहे हैं तो उसके रीजन होने चाहिए, वो काउंसिल में आना चाहिए, फिर काउंसिल उसकी जिम्मेदारी ले और उसको पूरा करे। दैट शुड बी द वे ये चीज़ों को आगे बढ़ेगा। अदरवाइज जो है वो बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा कि हम कोई भी काम जो है ना फिर वो नीड बेसिस पे या रिक्वायरमेंट बेसिस पे चीज़ें चलती हैं, अदरवाइज हमारी सिस्टमाइज्ड वे में नहीं होंगी। तो वी नीड टू ब्रिंग एफिशिएंसी थ्रू सिस्टमाइजेशन ऑफ प्रोसेसेस एंड मॉनिटरिंग मैकेनिज्म। बाकी दूसरा सवाल आप रिपीट करें, मैं जहन से निकल गया।
दूसरा सवाल ये था कि आप जो है ना रिप्रेजेंटेशन के जो है ना ओसीसी है, जो ओवरसीज कमेटी है, वो क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट भी लेती है, वो चीजें भी बनाती हैं, और जिसको चेयरमैन हमारे रिप्रेजेंट सारे चेयरमैन करते हैं, वो सारी रिपोर्टिंग जाती है काउंसिल के पास। तो जाती तो है, लेकिन इट टेक्स टाइम कि जो ओसीसी में डिस्कस होने के बाद, जिसके अंदर ओसीसी के मेंबर हैं, चेयरमैन अशफाक तोला साहब है, इज वेरी काइंड, और वो काफी 100% सपोर्टिव है। बट व्हेन थिंग्स गोज टू द काउंसिल फ्रॉम देयर रिकमेंडेशन, they are sitting council members, they decide that this agenda has to discuss or what time. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ ओवरसीज मेंबर इन काउंसिल।
अच्छा, वो जो है ना, वो तो आप देखें लॉ में ऑलरेडी इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया गया है। सून एज जैसे ही आपका ऑर्डिनेंस पास होगा तो वो आपकी वो तो काउंसिल के पास डिस्क्रिप्शन आ जाएगा कि दे कैन take on board.
हाँ, तो ये हमारा क्वेश्चन आज स्पेसिफिक है, जब काउंसिल के पास आएगा इंशाल्लाह ताला, आप काउंसिल में होती हैं तो क्या आप इस चीज को सपोर्ट करती हैं कि ओवरसीज की सीट होनी चाहिए कि नहीं? ये हमारा क्वेश्चन है एज अ ओवरसीज मेंबर।
ये तो बड़ा बड़ा खतरनाक सवाल किया आपने ये। देखिए ना, ये तो डिबेटेबल है, और जिस वक्त ये ऑर्डिनेंस बन रहा था उस वक्त तो मैं उसका पार्ट नहीं थी। हाँ, जाहिर सी बात है, अब वी आर पुशिंग इट फॉर द अप्रूवल। अब तो लॉ इन प्लेस है हमारे एंगल से तो। बट रिप्रेजेंटेशन का जहाँ तक ताल्लुक है, जो चैप्टर्स हैं हमारे, वो एक अच्छा रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं। तो आप मुझे मतलब मैं थोड़ा सा एक काउंटर सवाल आपसे ये करूंगी कि जहाँ पे हम मेजॉरिटी, मतलब आप हमारे तो इस वक्त जो लॉ डिफाइन करता है वो हमारे रीजन्स करता है ना, साउथ एंड नॉर्थ रीजन की बेसिस पे हमारा इलेक्टोरल प्रोसेस चल रहा है। तो क्या आप उसको एक एज ए रीजन के तौर पे देखना चाहते हैं? वो एक सेपरेट रीजन तो नहीं बन सकता ना ओवरसीज, तो फिर लॉ ही आपका टोटल बदल जाएगा। आप उसको किस तरह से लाइक
ये तो आप बताएंगे ना। देखें, बिकॉज यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग 100 सीट्स पर, एक 100 सीट के ऊपर जहां से वोटिंग 16 या 17 लोग वोट डालते हैं तो आपका एक काउंसिल मेंबर आ जाता है, ठीक है। एज कंपेयर टू दैट यू हैव 3000 पीपल हु आर बीइंग डिप्राइव्ड ऑफ दैट फंड। इफ लॉ अलाउस यू टू डिफाइन, जाके मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, जो कि मेरे इंटरप्रिटेशन मेरे पास आई है लॉ की, यही है कि यू कैन डिफाइन अ सेपरेट सीट फॉर स्पेसिफिकली, आप ये ना वुमेन के लिए कर सकती हैं, आप ओवरसीज के लिए कर सकती हैं। देयर इज अ स्पेस फॉर दैट वन। सो इट इज डिपेंडिंग ऑन द काउंसिल कि आप कैसे करती हैं। कि जिस तरीके से एक फार्मूला जो काफी काउंसिल मेंबर से बात भी है, वो ये है कि भाई 2 सीटें होनी चाहिए, मिडिल ईस्ट की 1 एंड रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड फॉर सेकंड सीट फॉर दैट वन। सो ये तो एक तरीकेकार है जो कि इम्प्लीमेंट हो सकता है। और जिस लॉ के अंदर जो आप बात कर रही हैं, जो रीजन के अंदर आपके, आप में उस रीजन के अंदर बात नहीं कर रहे, इन एडिशन टू दैट रीजन आपका भी रीजनल है, जिसके ऊपर आपने कोयटा के अंदर साउथ जो भी है, जिसके अंदर मेरे ख्याल से 100 मेंबर है, 30 लोग वोट डालते हैं और आपका मेंबर बन जाता है। एज कम्पेयर टू दैट वी आर 800 registered and around 1000 members only is sitting in UAE.
नहीं, उसमें बिल्कुल सही है आपकी बात। जो जब लॉ में डिफाइन है हमारा, तो आई थिंक फिर इसमें तो किसी की राय की जरूरत ही नहीं है, वो तो एक ऑलरेडी चीज है
राय नहीं, फिर उसके बाद सपोर्ट की जरूरत है। उसके बाद सपोर्ट की जरूरत है। तो वी वांट टू मेक,
ना जब होगी और आपकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, जेन्युइन केस है, तो डेफिनेटली सपोर्ट होगी फिर।
दैट्स इट, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
बिल्कुल, वेल, मोस्ट
अस्सलाम
वेलकम।
वालेकुम।
क्या हाल है यासिर साहब, ठीक ठाक है?
ठीक ठाक, अल्लाह का शुक्र। जस्ट अ क्विक क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम माय साइड एज वेल. But first and foremost, I would like to congratulate for successfully completing 4 years in council.
Thank you.
I'm sure, as in most of us would agree that you were very, very active all these 4 years.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, as in couple of years back, we finally started this Dubai office. Just wanted to understand, as a part of your agenda, how do you think, what are your plans on how do you want to carry Dubai office going forward?
हमें तो बहुत, मैं जी प्लीज आप कंप्लीट कर लें क्वेश्चन।
नहीं, क्योंकि the idea behind setting up this office was कि ये ऑफिस जो है वो GCC वाइड एक ओवरसीज फर्स्ट ऑफिस आउटसाइड पाकिस्तान सेटअप हुआ, and then the idea was to cater to the members and students outside Pakistan, and then this being the first office outside Pakistan, इसके बाद फिर हम और भी सेटअप करेंगे। And the idea is that our direct competition is ICAI. अब ICAI जो है उनकी representation, and then if you see them on LinkedIn online, so they've got their offices being set up in remote areas in those countries जहाँ शायद हमारे members भी ना हो। So we've got those competition coming in as an international chartered accountancy body. तो उसमें जो है would want to understand as in what exactly is the plan. Since 1.5 years, nothing has been done. When I say nothing, absolutely nothing has been done on that office.
I know.
तो उसमें जो है ना, the question mark is कि मतलब how do you plan to take it forward?
देखिए, विजन तो मेरा ये है कि हमें बड़ा प्रोएक्टिव काम करने की जरूरत है। आपको बहुत चैलेंजेस हैं, आपके पास खाली ICAI नहीं है, आपके पास अब श्रीलंका, अदर अकाउंटेंसी बॉडीज, वो भी डेफिनेटली आपके साथ खड़ी हुई हैं, जो आपको चैलेंज आता है उसके अंदर एक्टिव तो आपको जितना एक्टिव और जितना एफिशिएंट होंगे, जितना आप आउटरीच अपनी बढ़ाएंगे, मेंबर्स के साथ एंगेज होंगे, उनके बेनिफिट की बात करेंगे, जब भी आप वहाँ पे कोई इफेक्टिव रोल प्ले कर सकेंगे। जहाँ तक स्टूडेंट्स का ताल्लुक है, मेरा नहीं ख्याल है कि अभी लेकिन ये अपॉर्चुनिटी हो सकती है। मेरा ख्याल है इंडिया में भी ये नहीं है कि उनके कोई ट्रेनीज वहाँ दुबई में कोई ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को उन्होंने अप्रूव किया है। जो मेरी नॉलेज की, अगर आप लोगों की नॉलेज में है तो प्लीज शेयर करिएगा कि उनके स्टूडेंट्स ट्रेनिंग नहीं कर सकते वहाँ पे। कुछ कर रहे हैं क्या? एज ए ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अप्रूव्ड हैं ओवरसीज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ओवरसीज कंपनीज?
I think yes. I think yes.
अच्छा, मुझे किसी ने बताया था कि स्टूडेंट्स नहीं है अभी तक यहाँ
नहीं
ICI के।
स्टूडेंट्स हैं, स्टूडेंट दे, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू, स्टूडेंट दे हैव नॉलेज विलेज में उनके ट्रेनिंग सेंटर है, स्टूडेंट है, क्लास है, सब कुछ है। इट इज डन डायरेक्टली बाय देमसेल्फ, दे हैव नॉट आउटसोर्स टू एनीबॉडी एल्स। वहां सारी क्लासें हो रही हैं, वहां पे कोचिंग हो रही है नॉलेज विलेज के अंदर। उन्होंने
ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस भी हैं, ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस भी हैं,
दे आर गिविंग ट्रेनिंग्स।
मतलब विद इन आपके, अगर सपोज करें या किसी भी फर्म का ऑफिस है या कोई आउटसाइड प्रैक्टिस अगर कोई ऑफिस है, तो वो ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन।
नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से ट्रेनिंग उन्होंने रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगाई हुई है, आउटसाइड इंडिया वो ट्रेनिंग नहीं दे रहे अभी।
जी, ये मैं यही मुझे भी पता
ट्रेनिंग
चला था। जी हाँ, यही मुझे भी पता चला। तो हमें इस तरह की चीजों को एक्सप्लोर करने की जरूरत है। यू नीड टू मेक अ थॉट प्रोसेस, यू नीड टू सी हाउ यू कैन फैसिलिटेट स्टूडेंट्स ग्लोबली। हमें आउटरीच अगर बढ़ानी है, अगर हमने वहाँ ऑफिस खोला है, तो डेफिनेटली हमें मेंबर्स के अलावा स्टूडेंट्स को भी फैसिलिटेट करना होगा। तो ये सारे एरियाज हैं कि हम इसके ऊपर रिसर्च करें, एक्सप्लोर करें, और कहाँ पे हमारे लॉ के हिसाब से जहाँ जहाँ हमें अलाउ है और जहाँ जहाँ हम प्रोसीड कर सकते हैं, वी शुड प्रोसीड अकॉर्डिंगली। तो हमें इस एरिया को हमें जब हम यूएई में, आई एम श्योर के हमारे पास जितना पोटेंशियल है और जितनी वहाँ पे जो फुटप्रिंट्स हैं वो इतने मतलब डिफरेंट कंट्रीज से, हर जगह से लोग वहाँ पे आ रहे होते हैं, हमें उसका एडवांटेज लेना चाहिए। हमारे मेंबर्स के लिए काफ़ी जॉब पोटेंशियल्स वहाँ पे होते हैं, इंटरएक्टिव चेंजेबल थिंग्स जो हम उनको फैसिलिटेट कर सकते हैं, जितना कर सकते हैं हमें उस ऑफिस को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एक्टिवेट करके, और उससे we should give benefit to our members as well as to increase our outreach in terms of students as well.
Rightly pointed out on that front, हमने एक presentation बनाई थी. I think हमने में was there, Hadi Saab, Asif Kaleem, these guys who've been veteran for the chapter. तो उन्होंने एक presentation बनाई हम सब ने मिलके, and then we presented to the council president साहब. I think Khalil साहब was there, but the point remains the same कि उस पे जो है ना, वो everyone agreed कि होना क्या चाहिए, but unfortunately nothing has been done. And then the question mark has always been there कि जो है ना, how would the chapter work and how would that particular office would work. तो वो एक जो है ना, एक dilemma अपने आप में चल ही रहा है. But again, things have been pointed, discussed, agreed, but उस पे action नहीं हुआ.
ये तो हमारी
सॉरी हिना, मैं एक ऐड कर दूं यही पॉइंट, ठीक है? शायद आप लोगों को काउंसिल में पता भी नहीं है कि यहाँ पे 100+ स्टूडेंट की आर्टिकलशिप के लिए कमिटमेंट की गई, और जो है जनरल से जो उस वक्त जो सेक्रेटरी जो भी थे उनको कंफर्म किया गया, 50 बेकर टेली ने बोला और बाकी लोगों ने भी बोला, ठीक है? एंड दैट वाज द बिग अचीवमेंट फॉर आईकैप टू स्टार्ट दैट वन, क्योंकि वजह ये है कि ओवरसीज वाज नॉट इन द एजेंडा, इट वाज नेवर इन द एजेंडा, कि वो टाइमली डिसीजन नहीं हुआ, एंड इट्स गॉन। और वो अपॉर्चुनिटी चली गई जिस वक्त दे रिक्वायर्ड 100, बेकर टेली वाज रिक्वायरिंग 100 article student, and Salman Sajid is already there with us, sitting over there. Salman Sajid in the meeting at that time, the current secretary was there, ICAP, other people were there. They confirmed that if you allow, tomorrow we are able to take 50 article training for ICAP, and it was a big thing. लेकिन जो मैं बात आपको बार बार यानी कि जो मैं करता हूँ वो किसी वजूहात की बिना पे करता हूँ कि आईकैप की जब तक काउंसिल में ओवरसीज की रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं होगी, लोगों को बात ही समझ में नहीं आएगी। अब दोबारा ये इशू दोबारा उठा है जिस पे अशफाक तौला साहब काम कर रहे हैं, एंड दे हैव गिवन अस कि आप हमें जो है ना वो नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स बताएं और सबके, बट इट वाज बैक यासिर, आई थिंक कितने 5-6 साल हो गए ना इस बात को, जब सलमान साजिद इफ देयर ही कैन कंफर्म द एग्जैक्ट डेट एट देयर वाज। तो आपने जो बात करी इनटेक करने की, ये बात 5-6 साल से चल रही है और इसमें कमिटमेंट भी दी गई, उसके बावजूद आईकैप की तरफ से कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ।
And the reason why we have mentioned these points, the concerns, the idea is not to complain. The idea is that we'll be needing your support, inshallah. Once you get elected again, we'll be needing your support in helping and resolving these matters going forward, inshallah.
जी इंशाल्लाह। और जो मैंने आपसे बताया ना, वही जो एक मुझे लग रहा है कि ये जरा कम्युनिकेशन गैप ज्यादा है रादर देन इंटेंशनल बेस नहीं है। सबकी इंटेंशंस अच्छी हैं, हर कोई बेटरमेंट के लिए काम करना चाहता है, बट थोड़ा सा कम्युनिकेशन गैप हमारा जो है ना, आई थिंक दैट वी नीड लॉट ऑफ वर्क टू बी डन। और उसमें थोड़ी सी हमें रिपोर्टिंग मैकेनिज्म कुछ इस तरह का हमें एफिशिएंट करने की जरूरत है, जिससे हम आई एम श्योर ये सारी चीजें हल हो जाएंगी। क्योंकि आई एम श्योर आप लोगों के पास पूरे लिस्ट होगी कि जो आप लोगों के पेंडिंग एजेंडा पेंडिंग एक्शंस हैं, आई एम श्योर वो आपको पता होगा कि कितने अरसे से आप उसको कर रहे हैं। अगर वो हम थोड़ा सा रीइंफोर्स कर लें और उसको फर्दर आगे हम काउंसिल के पास लेकर आ जाएं, तो डेफिनेटली आई एम श्योर दीज थिंग्स विल बी सॉर्टेड आउट वेरी वेरी एफिशिएंटली एंड क्विकली। सो देयर इज नो ऐसी, मैं आपको बताऊं कि कोई ऐसी इंटेंशन नहीं है किसी की भी कि कोई किसी काम को रोकना चाहता हो या कोई एवरीवन लुक्स फॉरवर्ड। हम जो भी सब आ रहे हैं, आगे आ रहे हैं, हर किसी की ख्वाहिश यही है कि हम इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए, प्रोफेशन के लिए काम करें। तो थोड़ी सी डायरेक्शन अपनी हमें वी नीड टू सेट आवर डायरेक्शंस राइट एंड एफिशिएंटली। बस ये एक मेरा ख्याल है थोड़ी सी जरूरत है कि इसको करने की जरूरत है। तो इंशाल्लाह वी विल अचीव एवरीथिंग in the betterment of the profession.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
अबीर, अब कोई सवाल आपका तो आप भी पूछ सकते हैं।
अबीर के लिए कुछ थोड़ा ही
sorry for hijacking. Sorry for hijacking.
I think Asif and Yasir have covered most of the things, and wish you all the very best from all of us. And we wish that you take leading position in the council, and you support all of us. And the question that these two guys have posted in this session today.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल जी, इंशाल्लाह। Thank you very much for
Thank you, Hina. Lovely seeing you.
Thank you, Hina. जी, thank you so very much. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.
So I'm taking Mariam on board. She's our next speaker.
You need to switch on via video. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
I
I'm
cannot
giving
start
you
my
the
video.
access.
The host has somehow prohibited it.
Try again.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. How are you?
Walaikum assalam.
So after this whole session of experienced chartered accountants, experienced council members, experienced CA, fraternity members, my profile is really brief and very short to explain. I completed my articles from Ferguson, and I'm currently working in Atlas Honda Limited. I am working as a company secretary and financial controller. What achievement I see under my belt as a professional, I would say that started my articles for Ferguson's. In my interview sessions, I was among the top 3 performers in the firm. I was told that by my partner when I joined it. In Atlas, I'm the first female to have secured the C-level position to be the national manager position. Right now, in Atlas, I am the senior most female staff there. So for Atlas Group, I think this not in the group, we have other female staff, but in Atlas Honda Limited, this has been like a great achievement for me. Apart from that, I'm also working as a CFO and company secretary in one of our companies. Why I decided to contest for these elections? I always think that what I am today, or what any one of us today, is because of ICAP, and then of course because of our firm. But ICAP has done a lot, and how ICAP have done a lot is by members who become at that time were council members. Right now, our council members are SRC members because any institute is run by people. So if new people will not come and support the institute might stop working, or maybe might not grow the way we want it to grow. And being a part of industry and being maybe young, I understand that the problems faced by younger members right now in industry, especially when I see, when I interview people, when I interview chartered accountants, when I interview, kind of new people around, I see that there's a lot of improvement that is required in our, members right now, even now. And as I always say that, technically in Pakistan and worldwide, I'm sure, technically our people may be the best. They're the best people. They have best technical information, knowledge. They keep themselves updated. Even they're very hardworking. They like to work more than anyone would want to work. I think they're always ready to work. They're always ready to learn and adapt. But there are certain areas where I feel that we need to focus on, like speaking up, like talking about things, like what we have done. If you're not able to sell what you do, I think it's a big problem. If your communication skills are not developed the way they should be, it's a big problem, and it needs to be done. And I think not just after membership level, even before that, at educational level as well. Because I see my siblings, they've done their MBAs, and I see that every course that they give examination for, they have a presentation for that course as well. And they kind of prepare for that. So my sister, whenever there's, even Islamic studies course, they have to give a presentation, and there's a separate mark for that. So it's a part of exam. I think it's a part of the study scheme, which I believe SRC cannot do anything, but council can. But yeah, I would like to work on that. On that front as well, I want to represent industry. I prepare a lot of presentations, since our company has, foreign association with Japanese companies, with Thai companies, with Chinese companies. They want a lot of data on economy. What I see is that we don't have that data available right now. Pakistan economic setup is not like that I have data available at all the times. So even like separate websites, separate areas, newspapers have to just, kind of browse a lot and then kind of come up with one presentation, which needs a lot of time for preparation. So I think that if ICAP has taken a lot of initiatives with IB and other, sectors, we need to come up with some data banks, some library where we can have economic data as well as business data. I think as a person, as a professional, my inspiration has always been my mother. Although she's not a professional, but I think that she's exceeded in whatever she does. And she's taught me that, you should never stop. Whenever a hindrance or any break point comes in your life, you have to, climb up and come out as a stronger individual. I understand that my experience or even my agenda or my focus is so limited because I'm new and I'm fresh, and I think I have a lot to learn from like experienced members.
Hello, Mariam, we can't hear you anymore. Okay, I think Mariam has dropped. Okay.
Khushbu, can you inform her on the phone, possible for you, that she can reconnect so we can finish that? अबीर उनको पता चल गया कि बड़े मुश्किल सवाल आने वाले, वो चली गई।
Maybe.
उन्होंने
But
कहा
you know,
कि
it was very great and lovely to see such good number of people joining us, especially from female side. I mean, I think this entire dilemma of this COVID, where we have shifted to Teams and Zoom, have changed the way that we can see more participations. I think before, if you remember, Asif sir, when I joined, I think 2 years back, I used to come there, and especially I think in Abu Dhabi committee when
अबू
we had
धाबी से आपको
Shiraz.
दुबई आना पड़ता था।
Exactly. So
जी जी।
I always feel, and I think that was one of the reason I dropped off this Abu Dhabi committee because of the traveling issue. So I think this has changed, and we can see more participation coming in. So I can see from.
Excellent. और आपको पता है कि next 4-5 years COVID will be around as per WHO. It is not going anywhere, and it will have different versions. So hopefully, क्या हुआ खुशबू? She's coming.
Yeah, she said that she's connecting her internet. कुछ issue हो गया वहाँ पे।
कोई मसला नहीं। मैंने कहा शायद उनको लगा कि बहुत मुश्किल सवालात आने वाले हैं।
I think she's well prepared.
Good, inshallah. No, hopefully just joking. क्योंकि अभी तो मुस्तजाब ने भी कुछ सवालात लिख के रखे हुए हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि यार आखिरी पार्टिसिपेंट से पूछूंगा मैं।
सर आप है ना, बस हम सुन रहे हैं।
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm actually shifting my place, so there's a lot of disturbance going on. Yep. Sorry. I don't know where I missed, where you guys missed me. So.
Thank you, Mariam, for the brief views that you have shared of you and your journey with Ferguson and Atlas and others. So I have like 2-3 questions for you, and I will then give it to other members if they want to ask. So the first question is, how do women achieve and maintain their leadership position?
Women achieve the leadership positions by a lot of hard work. For me, I would say that I actually worked more than people with me, like men with me. I don't know why we have this in our mind that, you know, in order to prove our worth, we have to work more than our counterparts. I really don't know why. But determination is really important. It's really important that you're determined. You should be focused on where you want to go professionally. It's really important because we tend to, you know, kind of shift our focus. We are too nourishing and too maternal for that aspect. So we're like, okay, but our focus is really important. Our determination is important. So maybe more than men, but we have to work really hard, and, you know, kind of tell people, ensure to tell people that we are working hard, not just by our actions, but at times by our words as well. Very important.
Great. And the second one is, what are the key lessons you learned from your mistakes that other female chartered accountants can avoid and learn from?
I would say learn to say no and learn to put a stop at few things. I said that, you know, we tend to think that when you're working in an environment that is male dominant, wherever we go, I'm telling about women, wherever we go, if we achieve something earlier than other people. For example, in Atlas Honda, within a year of joining the organization, I was sent to Japan because of my performance. So when I was sent there were a lot of questions regarding that. So in order to counter those questions, I started working more than I used to do. Just to be sure that, you know, okay, this is not because I'm a woman. It's because, you know, I work hard. So you have to somehow realize that, you know, you should not overdo yourself, because people will continue to talk no matter what. So sometimes you have to put your foot down, and sometimes you have to come as a powerful force, because people should know that they should not come in front of you and kind of judge you, because sometimes you just sit down and relax and, you know, smile and sit looking at them. Okay, it's fine. And sometimes you'll be like, excuse me, mind your own business. Right. So I'm what I am today because I work hard. So you're not allowed to do that, and learn to say no, because at times when you start working in our environment, in any culture, in any environment, in any profession, if you really do work, and people are comfortable around you, that, you know, okay, this task, okay, give it to this person. This task, another difficult task, okay, this person. another difficult task, okay, this person, the other person not getting anything, but monetary aspects way and in any other way, both are parallel, equal. So it's really important that you start saying no at some point in time. Tell them kindly, nicely that okay, that's it. This, I'm doing more than I am supposed to do. So don't.
Mariam,
I think people
I have a
learned,
question.
Yeah.
I have a question
Yeah.
that you said you have to come with power, but still we are missing your power to come as a candidate. Your appearance in social media and other places are lacking behind as compared to the other contestant. And you know that your contestants is some contestant like Moniza. Yeah. आपका जो presence है social media पे, and it was, I come to know you are also contesting from Khushbu, because almost all the contestants उनके social media पे या उनकी quotes या उनकी it has been there. And as you already rightly said कि अगर जो भी काम करना है force के साथ करना है. So if you are contesting in an election, it has to be with force, and time is essence. Time is running out, and
that is what I'm saying, that I kept last 10
Okay.
1 month before, so it was really because I was a bit busy, but now I'll come with the force. You'll see.
देखिए, अगर आप बिजी हैं और टाइम नहीं निकाल सकते आज इलेक्शन में, तो कल आप जीतने के बाद कैसे निकालेंगे टाइम ये लोगों के लिए? आप इसका जवाब बताएं.
अरे टाइम मैंने निकाला है. देखिए, आप दिन के 2 घंटे दे सकते हैं. एसआरसी में आपको कितना टाइम चाहिए, आप मुझे बताएं.
जब मैं आप बताएंगे. देखिए,
आपको बता दूं,
मरियम कि देखिए, आप कंपेयर करें, अभी आप कंपेयर करें कि जो लोग टाइम दे रहे हैं एज कंपेयर टू अदर कंटेस्टेंट, जरा आप नोट डाउन कीजिए वो कितना टाइम दे रहे हैं और आप कितना टाइम दे रही है. तो यही तो बात हो रही है कि उसके बाद जाने के बाद हो सकता है वो उतना टाइम दे और आप इतना, तो फिर कैसे होगा? तो माय रिक्वेस्ट इज दैट ये बिल्कुल हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप इंशाल्लाह जीतें और लोग आपको वोट करें, लेकिन फॉर दैट रीजन यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड, क्यों? बिकॉज यू आर न्यू, आपको कोई जानता नहीं है, पहली बात, ठीक है? जैसे फर्स्ट टाइम मुझे पता चल रहा है कि आप भी खड़ी हुई है, खुशबू से मुझे पता चला कि जो है मरियम एक बहन है हमारी, वो भी कंटेस्ट कर रही है. सो यू हैव टू मेक एफर्ट मोर, और इंशाल्लाह ताला एफर्ट करें ताकि आपके जो है ना वोटर और लोगों को आपका पैगाम पहुंचे और लोग जाने आपको. दैट्स माय ओनली थिंग.
अब आप वही देखेंगे सर, लास्ट वीक से हमें यही देखना है. आई स्टार्टेड.
That's great. Thank you, Mariam.
So guys, any other questions from Mariam Ahmed, so we can then wrap it up the session? If no, then thank you so much, Mariam, for joining us.
Thank you.
And wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam.
So everyone, I will just give to Mariam Tahir for some closing remarks, and over to you, Mariam.
Yeah, it was such an amazing session. And honestly, it is certainly a great beginning for this incredible series of inspiring women professionals. My name is Mariam Tahir. I am from the North Zone, and I have done my articles in 2000. I have completed my articles in 2009 from KPMG. And these days I'm residing in Dubai. This was my intro. I would like to thank our guest speakers for making time and sharing their journey with our audience. I would also like to appreciate the efforts put up by organizers in getting together this incredible session. Well, now that the tone is set, we are hopeful to bring even more heartening sessions with inspiring guests. So stay tuned, and until next time, it's goodbye from us all.
Thank you, Mariam. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
really
Abir.
nice
It was excellent, excellent.
Thank you. The
Mariam.
entire organizing committee. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, the entire organizing committee. I missed the name. Sorry. It's many thanks to Abira and Aisha, Abdullah, Abira, Amar, Faria Naz, our Khushbu Mushtaq, Sawa Iqbal, Hina Shamsi, Wajia Anwar, and Saima Shahid, me, Mariam Tahir, and Rizwana Kamran. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Asif.
Thank you, Asif.